I went to go see The Companion last week and I thought it would make the perfect film for a letterbox episode. So, if you also loved The Companion, here are some books that I would recommend you read. If you liked the sci fi elements and the questions it brought up around what it is to be human, then the first recommendation I have for you is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. This is one of my all time favourite classics. It's the well known tale of Victor Frankenstein and the creature he creates. It's about science pushed to its limits, left unchecked by morality and the laws of nature. It's incredibly, scarily, still very, very relevant today, which makes it such a gripping read still. The next recommendation I have is the most beautiful story about robots I've ever read, and it is Clara Anderson. Clara is an artificial friend finally chosen by a customer to go home and thus embarks on the journey of answering the question, what does it mean to love? Ishiguro's writing is, as always, truly unique and unmatched. And do you know what? Since watching The Companion, I think I'm going to have to read this again myself. If you liked the moments in the film where technology was used as a kind of vehicle for chilling satire, then I think you might like The Circle by David Eggers. This is the one that was turned into the Netflix film, I think, with Emma Watson that kind of flopped, but the book is much better. It's about May Holland who lands a job at The Circle, which is basically an organisation that runs the whole internet. The more she works there, the more her ideals and ambitions resemble that of The Circle's, and the closer she gets to discovering the sinister truth at its heart. If you liked the incredibly clever and oftentimes chilling way that The Companion explored gender dynamics, then I think the first book you should read is The Stepford Wives by Ira Levin. It follows Joanna, who moves to an idyllic town with her husband and children, where everything seems too good to be true, and she soon finds out it is. I would recommend you get this edition if you can, because it has a great introduction by another author who I really like, Chuck Palahniuk. And in it, he says multiple times, we can't say Ira Levin didn't warn us. The next book features another female protagonist who thinks she knows everything about her life, thinks it's completely perfect, flawless, only to one day have it all ripped from underneath her, and that is Mrs. March by Virginia Fito. Mrs. March is the wealthy wife of a novelist whose life is one of routine and decorum until she reads her husband's latest novel and finds the deplorable main character to be based on herself. We then go with her on an increasingly paranoid journey, uncovering a killer and some long buried secrets from Mrs. March's own past. I really, really loved this book. I think the writing was just brilliant, and I am so excited for her new book that comes out this year. And of course, we couldn't talk about gender dynamics in the world of sci fi without talking about The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. The book is set in a dystopian, post apocalyptic, and hyper patriarchal society. And the story follows Offred, whose job and life revolves around being part of the breeding program